pulverized his opposition. So very excited to see whether DEFT is going to be able to step up here against a player that he's been very, very outspoken about playing against, right? He's spoken about going against Ghost, and he's like, I'm never going to lose against this guy. And then they got 3-0 team fights that can just win games.
And this will be interesting to see how the top...
Flash is now KERIA going to get stunned as well. So both summoners in the 2v2 taken away. Mark's going to be coming in as well, because it feels like KENNEN has absolute control of the entire map. And KINDRED are going to go for a little bit of a trade onto NUGURI here. Gonna have that back denied at least, but both of these top laners just chilling. I was thinking about that myself, especially when we've got the 2 level 4 redemption rollers in this game. That is CHOVY and Showmaker. You guys watched the LCK.
For the Rift Herald, this is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, we've got a River Ram. This is a 5v5. DORAN's going to loop around NUGURI. Level 7 at the moment, and here's the engage. Curtain Call comes down, and the Lamb's Respite comes in very, very early. BERYL getting a big old heal as NUGURI's ultimate is beautiful. First Blood going over to Showmaker, and he still has the Unleashed Power available. As PYOSIK very, very low, and that's the Flash Zenith Blade. BERYL has come to play today as DEFT gets to the safety of his turret, but you can't say that about DORAN and PYOSIK. The first 2 kills go over to Damwon.
And Damwon now, with that kind of a victory, they also have the Rift Herald. Bring us 10 minutes away from a soul point, and things get really scary because we're going to have a good soul this game. We see how this all starts off. Showmaker is forced to flash over the wall. Deadly Flourish almost landed onto him. Now DRX, they're the ones that are behind in lanes right now and could scale better, but they rotated over to the Rift Herald, but their champions are a lot worse at this point in the game in terms of just base value. Lamb's Respite came out very early on, but then NUGURI just waits it out and then goes in with Slicing Maelstrom. BERYL with the Flash Zenith Blade gets on top of him, and you're just left wondering, why did DRX handshake it? Ooh, a little bit of a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
In top lane there.
Dance of Arrows was absolutely fantastic out of PYOSIK, avoiding the scat of the week as the Rift Herald is denied. That is huge for DRX.
And DRX, I mean, they managed to just have so many members in close proximity. So KENNEN, this really just emphasizes how far behind CHOVY is right now. Not in terms of CS, but just in game state. He still has yet to go back and actually complete any sort of an item. He does have those Merc Treads, but it doesn't really mean anything when nothing's going to be happening in the middle stages of the game, not going to get insane value out of it, and it's going to be Infernal Dragon coming up next.
Infernal Soul for our very first game of the knockout stage. That is the way you want to start. Around as well. Turret plates, not too many of them to actually go down on either side. As the heal actually comes in, they're looking to try and take down DORAN, but that's the wild growth as DORAN stays in the fight and takes down NUGURI. Now BERYL trying to get out of there as the collateral damage not quite enough. This is why you press your potion button, ladies and gentlemen, as DORAN keeps himself alive.
That's why you have the Sanguine Blade too for the lifesteal.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
DRX
with KERIA just being there, ready, in position, get themselves wave clearing endlessly. Has the Archangels. But take a look at this replay. So the exhaust onto the KENNEN was there. And how clutch was it for KERIA to just be in the exact spot that he was while this was going on? And
as possible, Ghost pushing in yet another minion wave. KENNEN turns up. That's the Hex Flash from BERYL. Doesn't look for a Zenith Blade onto KERIA, who skippies away. And this is going to be first turret going over to Damwon at 16.5 minutes. I believe this is going to be a continuation of Damwon 100% first turret rate so far here at Worlds. But this game means a lot. And no one wants to give anyone an edge, as now the first Infernal going to be started off by DRX as DEFT is going to shoot it. NUGURI teleports in. This will be another 5v5. We'll see how DRX are going to be able to go this time around. There's CHOVY off to the side. BERYL looking for a flank, and NUGURI as well wrapping around. PYOSIK going to be able to take the Infernal Drake. And DRX just looking to try and get out of there. The flash out. DORAN is just going to make sure that DRX can get out scot-free. Ooh. And KENNEN getting chunked by that Shock Blast. The poke from DRX, and now they're going to transition into this outer turret. Collateral damage used just to get rid of the minion wave. And DRX are going to continue pushing by the looks.
Yeah, and getting that Infernal Dragon is a really, really big deal, because it means that Not only do they get some increased stats for themselves, but they buy themselves so much time.
Going to be extraordinarily valuable, but DRX is exactly the same, right? Like, they have so many damage deal as KENNEN is going to try again. Shirley comes down in this mid lane as Shockwave just to get rid of the minion wave, but he gets rid of half of Ghost's health bar as well. Command Protect through there, but there is the charge. So Shirley will provide a bit of value, even if DRX's mid turret is still just below half health. It's not the end of the world here for them as DEFT.
He's going back up into top lane. He's going to try to shove that in. Damwon, a lot of their gold lead right now is actually just inside of the turrets.
Yeah.
And so they're about... Oh, what?
What? Okay. Sometimes you've just got the serrated dirt and you do way too much damage. Doran picking off Ghost from the backside of that as, I guess CHOVY going to be patting himself on the back for that shockwave as well. As now NUGURI's going to get the stun onto KERIA, who is going to be A-OK. But damn, I didn't even see where that came from. Hopefully we get a replay and we can see what happened there as KERIA is just going to rotate around and DEFT able to push all the way forward. And you were talking about, you know, turret gold being a factor. Well, DRX are going to close that gap even.
Very scary. Showmaker hanging out just on the outskirts of vision. No one knows about BERYL. And I don't know what DRX are doing right now with their posturing.
Well, it looks like their priority is going to be on the mid lane, but you can see all of the vision that Damwon have. They should be able to head just over to this Drake and pick it up. It's up in 3 seconds' time. Canyon's been fantastic at dodging shock blasts. Doran does so much damage, but he needs to connect the skill shots to make it work as we toggle the vision and see how dark it is for DRX.
Yeah. DRX now, I mean, they're trying to hold a Phalanx.
NUGURI's been so patient. There's the Solar Flare. Doran down pretty low. And it is just going to be DRX giving this one up as NUGURI looking for the fight potentially, but BERYL just going to get himself out of there with the flash. And now Soul Point is in for Damwon. Really good control of the area. That shock blast is going to land ace in the hole as well. Scatter the Weak is big, and that's going to get the Lance Respite out of the Kindred. Curtain Call coming forward. Do have a bit of vision as now CHOVY. Fancy Feet comes through, and his DDR skills are going to be enough. KERIA, not so much. Catches one off the back end.
Yeah.
DRX will get out of there, and they don't get the turret, and they lose the Drake.
And so a lot of very weird decision-making coming out for DRX right there. They were constantly grouped up. Invisible Nunu bug?
Oh, no, I haven't.
You haven't? Okay, well.
Is it a good one? One of your favorites?
It's definitely good. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, DEFT now has a couple of items. The rapid fire completed. Ghost sitting on the same thing, basically. Spellbinder through for Showmaker as well. And there's a pretty cool hat on this cannon, who just decided that he wasn't going to build his Zhonya's. He wanted to have as much damage for this soul fight as possible. And that hat is going to mean that any sort of cannon flank is going to be basically impossible to deal with. There's a Zenith Blade, and they've caught out Doran, but uses the Blast Cone, gets himself to relative safety. Now regroups with his team, but the JAYCE not going to be team fighting in melee range against anyone with that kind of health bar. Throws out his Shock Blast onto Showmaker. Good stun onto DEFT, and collateral damage takes him to 200 health. DEFT needs a reset. Still 2.5 minutes on the Dragon, so not going to lose too much here on the side of DRX, but Damwon just showing them that they can do some poking too. Shock Blast going to be avoided as Doran gets himself out of the way of the Scatter the Weak and uses the Infernal Blast Cone to get himself towards this bottom lane as NUGURI is just taking down this turret by himself.
And this is the really scary thing. Decided right here, Atlas.
Could potentially. CHOVY Shockwave now on cooldown as well as PYOSIK going to get stunned up. Lance Respite does go down though. That's going to keep him alive, but they need that for the team fights. The flash out of the Deadly Flourish. And there's the curtain call as the Dragon is spawning. DRX completely zoned away from this area, and that's just going to be free Infernal Soul for Damwon. Oh, I don't know about that Shockwave in the bottom lane. It whiffed anyway, but even using it against just the cannon is probably not going to work. As Damwon, a whole bunch starting to run away from DRX without really much happening.
Yeah, not anything really going on, and yet Damwon, they're going to get the Baron. And I just feel like, I mean, with the team composition that DRX has, Orianna, she has some wave clear. CAITLYN has a little bit as well, but their team composition is not one that is particularly...
Objectives, they've been there first, they've got the vision down, they've cleared the vision out, and it's just been a story of Damwon being better.
Yeah.
Just in the macro sense, right? Even if there have been moments that DRX can have those sick mechanics that we know that they have, hasn't been a match when it comes to a solid game plan and playing around exactly what they want to achieve in this game. Chovy off to the side, looking for that sneaky shockwave.
Yeah, he was looking to get maybe something onto Ghost right there. Not going to be able to find it. And we're just having a do-si-do right now here inside of this game.
Yeah, DRX looking like they just don't really know what to do next. This turret's going to go down towards the bottom side. DRX continue to bleed objectives. Collateral damage once again used for poke. Scat of the week just searching for any sort of pick-off. And Solar Flare to do exactly the same thing. Deadly Flourish does get the stun onto Chovy, who's down to half health. But this is all value for Damwon, as this siege is going to continue. Now the siege meaning DEFT trying to get rid of it, does so with the Peacemaker, nicely done. Showmaker over the wall, I mean, there's just too much pressure. Damwon have so much control over every single objective on this map.
And waiting on the bench.
Yeah!
That's actually...
I had the same idea, actually.
Yeah, just waiting for Damwon DRX to get their 5th kill.
Yep.
In the game.
Is the Nexus going to be the 5th kill? I don't think so.
Do you know what the most important 50 gold in the game is?
Is it the Nexus?
It's Tibbers.
Ah, okay, that's what I think.
Thanks for asking.
I thought that it would have been too obvious
yeah.
for it to be the Nexus, but yeah, not going to be able to get that 50 gold this game. Fortunately, Tibbers not actually this one. Let's see whether we get any surprise Annie picks as the game, as the tournament continues. Chovy now moving towards this outer turret that DRX have been so keen on for so long, and he will.
With Chovy. Deft down one. Oh, hold on.
NUGURI looking for it. He's biding his time, waiting for the opportune moment. PYOSIK gets popped. He had the Lamb's Respite, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to use it from the Death Chamber. And now DRX don't have a jungler, and there is an Elder Drake coming up in 20 seconds time. That was an error.
That was a
really awkward position.
Looks
Teleport
like DRX,
back from DORAN.
Yeah, they're deciding that it's now or never for them.
Well, they need to make some sort of attempt to stop this from going down, because they can't just continue bleeding objectives forever. Chovy moving over to the side. Deft actually frontlining at the moment. The smoke screen goes down. The flash over. Chovy looks for the shockwave and misses. The flash out from Damwon.
Oh, but they managed to separate them a little bit. Never mind, DORAN going on a little bit of an adventure. Here comes PYOSIK, though.
Yeah, NUGURI's going to flash in. Massive slicing Maelstrom into the back line. The Lulu dies immediately. DORAN going to go down as well, as there's the curtain call. Ghost looking for Chovy, but the Elder Drake is going to fall. And whether this Orianna gets away or not, Damwon will put themselves in a game-winning position.
Yeah, and now with the Elder Dragon, Solar Flare landed onto the Kindred, but PYOSIK has the QSS able to get, does have Smite up again for this, so should be able to go his way. KENNEN is also 16 now, PYOSIK 14. Just dancing inside of his jungle. Ghost's gonna come over here and try to help him as well. And with Elder and Baron, it would take a miracle in order for DRX to come back inside of this game.
And they also have the Infernal Soul as well. Just a reminder, guys, the game with the least kills at Worlds so far this year had 11. And we've currently got 8. So definitely a lot of bloodlessness, but Chovy, he shot his shot. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough.
And so what happens here is BERYL and NUGURI, I mean, they just get a perfect opening onto Deft and friends right at the very top. Deft tries to get away with his net, but KENNEN obviously there with the End Dragon, Infernal Soul, Elder, and Baron.
Whoa, Deadly Flourish coming down. They're looking for Deft. He nets to get himself out of the way. This curtain call really starting to do damage as KERIA gets completely chunked. This is a 4-item JHIN. He does a lot of work. DRX now forced to go back, as KERIA not going to be there. Don't want to fight a 4v5, and they will just forego their inhibitor turret. They can't just continue sacrificing objectives, but unfortunately, They're just too far behind at this point in the game. Too many buffs circling Damwon. Still 39 seconds on the Elder Drake. Has 2 inhibitors in the blink of an eye and a teleport towards the top lane. Here's Showmaker in there. He'll push this one out, and they're looking for 3.
Well, 2 inhibitors. They're rotating up into top lane, looking to raise this final turret. PYOSIK just getting tagged. Even the Graves smoke screen, actually.
I know, this is like a poke Graves.
Yeah.
I guess lethality is going to help you out there, but he's been using his collateral damage just to soften up his opponents so far this game. It's been working. BERYL getting caught out of position for the moment, but he will survive. And Damwon still pressing forward. DEFT half health. PYOSIK the same, as is KERIA. This is going to be the hat trick of inhibitors on the 1 Baron and Elder push. Elder has just dissipated. And now DRX are looking at just a couple of Nexus turrets between them and a game 1 loss. NUGURI looking for his moment. PYOSIK going down very, very low. Dances out of the way of the deadly flourish. Someone continue to press forward. This Nexus turret goes down immediately as now PYOSIK standing on his Lamb's Respite, but immediately he's stunned up. And the curtain call comes forward. This last Nexus turret lasting a bit longer than you may have expected, but eventually does fall down. Collateral damage does so much work over the top of DRX, and there is the slicing maelstrom, the death nail. The Nexus going down as an afterthought, and Damwon will keep their blue side dreams alive and take down game 1 in this best-of-5 series.
Well, Damwon, it wasn't the most